So here we have the third page of the Codex Argenteus. The last sentence ended off, it was, Forthis Gashivion Brother Thinam, is how that was. So first, go be reconciled with your brother, Thinama, Yar singular specifically, so thy. Ach bithe Argangans at ber tho Givathina. And at that time when you are coming up to Argangan, is to come up to at ber thoivathina. I think, or is Bithe referring to? I think Bithe is actually referring to the previous. It's referring to the Horthishvishivion, I believe. I think I'm not completely sure of how, like, the minute details of the grammar, but whatever. Bithe is then at that time, whatever. Argangans is come up to. Atber means to present. It's it doesn't mean to present. That would be atberan. This is atber, so we're talking to the speaker. We're telling them. Then is when you need to present thoivathina. Feminine accusative is what this is of sha, so it means the, specifically. The reason why it's accusative is because it's being presented, so it's the object, and it's feminine because riva is a feminine noun. And then thina just means yar. And it's also feminine accusative, although in this case the it would be the same if it was nominative. Sheesh wela hojans. Be well thinking. Underståing thinam. So underståing thinam. We have the first word is understå, and then we have themes, but it's not just any. This would be the nominative, but it's the dative, because we're being well thinking with the underståing, and underståing just means adversary. So we have be well thinking with your adversary, or towards your adversary, or whatever, concerning your adversary. So it's not it's not the object, it's the indirect object is what you would call that, so that's why it's dative. Undthati is invigamith imma. Oh, okay, so und means well, like undthati means well. Is can mean a few different things. In this case, it means you are, or if you want to be more specific with like more archaic English, it would be thou art. We don't have the word thu because it's not being stressed in this sentence, so it's just es, meaning thou art. In wiga, or wigam, in wigamith imma. So it's divided. Here we have the dative case. So it's the dative case of wigs, and because we're in wigs, it's not in wigs, it's in wiga because of this in. So that's why that's the way it is. Myth imma. With is, if you speak German, you'll recognize this part as mit. If you don't speak German, I don't know, maybe there are some other Germanic language that has that. I don't speak too many Germanic languages. But anyways, myth is just with. A lot of times where we would say with, you might just use the dative case, but in this case, we are using the word myth, and then imma means him, but it's not the same as inna, which also means him, because inna is accusative and imma is dative. There's also im, which is dative plural, so imma, dative singular, im, dative plural, and then there's ins, which is accusative plural. So I know it's a lot to take in. There are all these different cases, but it's something that you get used to, and that if you, I believe this is supposed to, yeah. Okay, I made a typo there. I make typos occasionally, but as long as I notice them eventually, it doesn't cause too big of problems. And I'm not too big of a perfectionist. If Juan thuk sa understore story. So I already told you understore is adversary, and Juan means when, or in this case, I believe it means sometime. At rive, if you know the word rivan, and we already talked about at, so we have at rangan, at beran. Now we have at rivan. So rivan just means to give. It even sort of sounds like give, unsurprisingly, as it's the same word, just in English versus in Gothic. So rivan is give, and then at rivan is just a prefixed form of the verb rivan, so it changes the meaning a little bit. Okay, I got ahead of myself there. So ive means a few different things. In this case, it means lust. So be well thinking with your adversary quickly is what sproto means. Sproto. So quickly, while you are in the way with him, lest at some point he should give you thok, you singular, also accusative, singular, accusative of the. There's a lot of. It's helpful to just know these words, and then sa means the or that. So lest that adversary give you to the store. So we have store, but it's dative, so it becomes stolen, and store, nominative, it's the subject, or thuk, that's the another second person singular accusative, adjeve anbachta. So now we have adjevan again. So, and the judge should give you anbach. What does anbachta mean? I just look this up quick. Anbachta. Dative singular of anbachs, and it apparently means servant or minister. Yachin karkara gelagera. Yach means and. You'll encounter this word a lot. In, don't even need to translate that one. Karkara, this is related to, this is from Latin, carcera, which means prison. And then, so we have the base verb lagion. Lagion, spelled like this, lagion. Now, it's talking. So this is an example of where if you speak a Slavic language, this will come in really handy. But it's Gulagan, which if you just speak English, it doesn't change the meaning at all to you. But there is a difference, a subtle difference between the imperfective and perfective that you just have to learn. But in this case, it's perfective, so we add ga, and then it's you're not the one lay. Okay, so la again, I should have first explained, means to lay, or like lay something down, lay something on something else, so you're not the one laying someone else in prison, you're being laid in prison. And that's why we need to put this in the passive. So if you want to use the passive in English, you can say things like you are being put in prison, or you were put in prison. Can't type apparently, but that's in Gothic. There's also a dedicated passive form of the verb. I'm sorry, I'm not the best with all this terminology either. But we have the passive. I think it's a tense, or no, it's a whatever. It doesn't matter. There's a passive form of the verb, and if you're talking about he will be put in prison, or she, or whatever, you will say, or even if you wanted to say in carcara galagara would mean, it could mean a bunch of different things. Because this ada, it is the same in the third person and the first person. So it could mean I will be laid in prison, or it could mean he will be laid in prison, or it could mean she will be laid in prison, or it could mean in the present tense. But usually, I believe, perfective is more often used with the future than the present. If you speak a Slavic language, then you don't even have a present perfective, and so that probably won't be surprising. It's very difficult to do something perfectively in the present. It's usually something like perfective is sort of like I ate the apple versus I was eating the apple, and I will eat the apple versus I will be eating the apple. Like you could say, oh yeah, I was eating the apple, and then the phone rang. Or, oh, what were you doing last night at 5 p.m.? Oh yeah, I was eating the apple. It's not that common that it's like, oh yeah, at exactly 5 p.m., 5 p.m. I ate the apple. Because, well, like, I mean, obviously you can finish an entire, whatever. But it's like, imperfective is more like, what are you doing at that moment? So like, oh yeah, what are you doing over the weekend? First of all, I don't speak any Slavic languages, so I'm probably going to mess up the explanation a little bit. But I believe that if you're saying, oh yeah, on the weekend I'm going to be, fishing. Oh, okay, that's what you're going to be doing on the weekend. I think that's how it works. But we're talking about, you will be laid in prison. Which is galagasa. It's not galagada, because that's I will be laid in prison, or he will be laid in prison, or he or she will be laid in prison. We're talking about you, singular, so it's this is not galagada, but galagasa. A good way to note this is hetala, which is like such a common passive that it even made its way. It's not very usual for things like this to, in fact, I believe it's the only relic of the passive that survived in other language. What did I do? Oh, did I? Okay, yeah, there we go. Heißen. If you speak German, you know heißen means, you know, I am called. Ich heiße Jotka is how I would say I'm JK. If I want to say that in Gothic, I put Jerakusma. Jerakusma hetala. I can even type that out. Jerakus. Yeah. Jerakusma hetala. I am called Jerakusma. If you want to just say Hetan, that's to call. Okay, so if we put in the first person, Heta, I believe it takes the accusative. I'm Heta in Hieraku. Okay, I should choose a different name other than my own name because I'm using the first person. What's a good name? Let's just use Wulfala. Heta in Wulfala und das ist Namo is something like that. I call him Wolfula because that's his name. Whatever. Oh, I'm getting way too sidetracked. I have no idea where I was. Oh yeah, Gelagerza. I hope I don't need to explain that anymore. I already wasted enough time talking about it. But you know, this is for learning. So hopefully you learned something. Amen. Quizás. Amen, I say, amen, whatever. Amen, quizás. Amen, I say to you, neoskangus yentro. You shall not. Okay, so here we have us, which means out, and then rangan. So if we know go is rangan and us is out, then you put them together. It means go out or depart. So, or leave, or whatever. So you shall not. Oh, where am I? Amen, I say to you, you shall not depart. Yentro. Yentro. We have. You might remember. Yenar. Hopefully you remember that. Yenar from earlier. But if we put throw, suddenly it means from there. You shall not depart from there. Iachin caergaragelagesa amen quithathus neoscangis ienthro onteos hives thanaminnestan quinto. Until you give or you pay thana, so accusative singular, minnestan, again accusative singular, it means let's see, so minsta means like smallest or least important or something like that, and we're put an n at the end, and that makes it the accusative of minsta. So we get minnistan kintu. Now kintu means sent. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. It means sent. It had better, but oh, it looks like Firefox isn't responding right now. But you'll just have to take my word for it then, I guess. So you shall not depart from thence until thou hast paid the smallest coin, or something like that. Something like that. You all have heard that it is said, Nehorinos. I believe that's do not commit adultery. Athan, remember this is an N right here. That's an N. but it's written like this. I'm not sure exactly the reason why, but if you look at the Codex Argenteus, you'll see that it's written like that. But I say to you, and remember, it's ik, it's specifically I. You have heard this, that's what's said, but I'm saying to you, this is what I'm saying. The emphasis is on I'm emphasizing the fact that I'm doing it, so I'm putting the word ik. I don't know why I'm talking in the first person, as if I didn't author the Bible. These are Jesus's words which have been, translated. But I say to you all that that whoever with quinon sees, this is third person, quinon, a woman, accusative, singular, douluston isos, to lust after her, is what that means. So this is the infinitive, and then isos is, that's like after her in this case. Euhorinoda has already. Now, this is not to be confused with the passive. This is the past tense. That's what the DA is marking. Euhorinoda has already committed adultery. Has already committed adultery with her in his own heart. And I would like to remind everyone, I hope I've said this before, but if I haven't, that I am also not perfect at Gothic. I'm learning as well. Hopefully I don't make too many mistakes. I don't want to be teaching bad information. And my pronunciation isn't perfect either, but it's, it's pretty, it's not like, the world is overflowing with people who speak Gothic better than I do, so you're not making a terrible mistake by listening to my pronunciation. It's okay. It's not as good as I like it. Whatever. I'll just get on with it. I'm almost done. Ithiave o thin. If means however. Yahweh means if. Oh, you might, if you speak German, you know that the word for eye is Auge. So that's the German, this O becomes a schwa, Auge, and German kept the diphthong, so it's not Olga or whatever, it's Olga. So in Proto-Germanic, it would have been something like Augo, or something like that. But in Gothic, it monophthongizes to just Augo. I don't know, exactly who's watching this, but it might help to, give examples as opposed to just using whatever terminology. So in English, we have the word about. So imagine if about was a Proto-Germanic word, and then the sound change would be that in Gothic, people would stop saying about and they would say abort. It sounds kind of different. It's no longer, if you say ow, you can sort of, you might be able to feel your tongue moving around in your mouth, but if you say aw, you shouldn't, and it just stays in the same place. This is there's also an analogous for I becomes e. So, for example, we have here's an example of the word sign. So we write it like sign, sign. Now, it would be like if people stopped saying sign and started saying sen, sen. And that's the sound change that happened in a lot of different languages, actually. And Gothic is one of them. A similar sound change happened in Latin and Greek. So that's why Greek writes this S sound with AI. So you can see if this is what the Greek uses to write this S sound. It also has epsilon. So these two sounds merged, whereas this sound, this eta, became E. E is the sound it made. It used to make I believe it used to make that sound in like ancient Greek, and then it shifted to A, and then it just shifted to E. So, but I'm getting sidetracked. O thín a þetta texo marje thuk. However, if your eye that if your right eye should offend thee, marje means offend or like whatever. Marje from oh crap, I'm still on the Greek keyboard. Whoops. Marjan. I believe it means like offend or to something like that. It means impede, hamper, hinder, impair, or disturb, according to Wiktionary, that is. So if it should do that to you, Ustang means it's the command. I'm telling you to pluck it out. Ustang ita, pluck it. So out is this us part, and then stang is the pluck part, and then ita means it. Shouldn't be too hard to remember because it's literally just the letter A added to the word it. It's I assume we lost the A in English or whatever, but whatever. So pluck it out, and werp. Werpan means to throw. So if you speak German, you'll know what the word for throw is in German, and it might look familiar. Werp afthus. So af means away from, and then thus is dative of thu, which means you, just when you're talking to one person. Batuzo, it is better. Batuzo ist, it is better. Ok means for, in the sense like for it is better, like means something like because, as like what, and then thus is dative. So why is it dative? Because it's talking about concerning. It is better concerning you or for you. That fraquishne, that you should lose, and lithiwe, one, and lithiwe of your members. Thieneje, that's the yar part. I end up, the word order in Gothic and English are a bit different. So lithiwe of members, thieneje of yars. It's it's hard to translate word for word, but if it is better for you to lose one of your members. Achne allatalik thin gedruse in again, and not all of your body. Achne allatalik thin gedruse in again shall perish in hell. is what that means. It's on the next page. So I tend to, when I'm making these, I tend to put the if a sentence appears on both pages, like start of it on the end of one page, beginning on the next page, and the end beginning on the. Well, you know what I mean. I tend to say the whole sentence twice, so I'll talk more about that in the next episode of or page or whatever.